Nico's red card?
Yeah, no grounds for appeal. We looked into it straight away, and even as late as 10 o'clock last night, I was still having a meeting about it. But no, unfortunately, no grounds to appeal.
Which only affects him. I say only, but it affects him tomorrow. Yeah,
we miss him for tomorrow. It's it's unbelievable. It is what it is, and we have to get on with it. But part of the process for Nico was to build his minutes up. He's had a frustrating time since last March when he played for us. He went back and was out for 5 weeks with injury, so he's not played many minutes. So we had to be sensible in his approach to the first game, and we've had to change that plan now because of his suspension. So it is disappointing, but things like this are thrown to test us, and we have to move on and find a solution to it.
With tomorrow, is it different for you? For instance, do some of those who, like, let's mention Joe Allen, Aaron Ramsey, Ben Davis, they all needed minutes. Are they in your starting plans for tomorrow?
Well, I won't name the starting 11, but they'll absolutely feature. All 3 players that you've just named will feature at some stage tomorrow, because again, it's all about a week Saturday. It's all about a week tomorrow. It's all about the first game. So we've got one eye on that. And again, there was a plan put in place when we first met up on camp with regards to what we want, who we want maybe for the first game, and work backwards, and what minutes we need to play them in the 2 friendlies to give us the best chance to get them involved in that first game. So that, we don't veer away from that, other than Nico that's been taken out of our control.
How close will it be to your starting lineup, or do you not yet know your starting lineup for Switzerland a week tomorrow?
No, we've still got 8 days, so it's anything can happen within that 8 days. We've got an idea, of course we have, and I'm not going to lie to you. Of course, we've got an idea of how we want to go about it, and get our best players on the pitch. So, yeah, I wouldn't read too much into tomorrow. I'll put it that way. So it's about, like I said, there's no points on tomorrow's game. Again, it's going to serve a purpose, and that'll be to get minutes into the players, and it's all about next week.
With Ben Davis, do you see him as a left-sided fullback or a left-sided centre-back?
He can play left side. If you're playing a back 4, he can play the left side centre-back. He can play left back. He can play left wing back, and he can play left of a 3. I like him as a left of a 3 and build up, absolutely. Even when we play a 4, sometimes we still get him on that left-hand side. If you think back to maybe 18 months ago when we played a back 4 with Connor playing like a right winger and Ben playing sort of as a left of a 3, then in build up, I think his quality on the ball is excellent. He's a very good defender, reads the game, and he's a good communicator. So he ticks a lot of boxes. So he could play any one of those positions.
Not giving a lot away there, covering every base. Last one for me, Rob. Big game because the crowds are back. First time since Wales qualified.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it's a shame that we can't get more in. Honestly, the last game before we go off to Baku, and it would have been lovely to get a full house there, or more than what we've been allowed. But again, it is what it is. We can't control that. We'll show our appreciation at the end of the game, absolutely, and we look forward to welcoming our supporters back in to watch the games.
All the best to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Rob. Cheers.
Thanks, Rob. Vinny O'Connor.
Hi, Rob. Hope you're well.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Rob, you spoke about the second half against France and the kind of exercise you went through in dealing with a scenario when you're down to 10 men. I just wonder what positives you take overall from that.
I thought individually there were some big performances. I think when you look at the personnel, we're not blessed with the amount of players that are playing domestic football every week. So for players to come in, to use Joe Morel as an example, Danny Ward, I thought they give big performances, and to do that when you're not playing week in, week out says a lot about them as characters. And I thought we had to restructure the shape from the off. We had to change the plan because they threw a curveball with us. We're changing their shape and formation when we saw the team sheet. So we had to think on our feet a little bit with regards to that. But then when we went down to 10 men, we had to take something out of the game, and it had to be a worthwhile exercise. So it can happen to you in the tournament. So we used that as a tool to go to 2 banks of 4 and DJ as a forward, as an outlet with his pace over the top. So, like I said, there was to play against the world #1 team, and all right, we conceded 3 goals, but again, we've looked back on them and and some of those goals had to do more with us than them, giving them too much time and space on the ball. And when you give top players like that time and space, there's only going to be one outcome. So there's little things we can tweak to make us better. But in the main, the 2 banks of 4 that we had, I thought looked solid, and yeah, a lot of positives to come out of it.
On top of that, Rob, how encouraged are you that you still carried a threat?
Absolutely. I thought for 20 minutes before the sending off, I thought we were toe to toe with them. You know, they didn't change. They didn't change from their diamond. They didn't have a second plan then at that moment in time. So I thought we were a constant threat. I thought Nico stepping inside onto Pogba and dealing with him was excellent. And I thought he acquitted himself really well. And to have somebody like DJ and Gareth in the team with the pace and the intelligence of Aaron and Harry, and you know the centre forwards that we like to play at the minute with that, I thought we were a constant threat, and I was really pleased for that 20 minutes. That's why it's such a shame the sending off happened. But for both teams, you know, we wanted to get a lot more out of it. But there you go. Like I said, I was proud of the team for working their socks off and putting the shift in.
And just with regard to those players who are still getting up to full match fitness, I mean, with the likes of Aaron Ramsey and Ben Davies, what do you see as the likelihood that they will be ready to start against Switzerland?
Yeah, they've had no setbacks. That was the only issue. We don't want to push them too far, because then that rules them out of the competition. You know, we're past the point of no return now with regards to getting injured. So we have to be sympathetic in how we do that. Yeah, we want them to be competitive, and you see them train, and they absolutely are. And they're at it match tempo, but we can't just throw them into a 90-minute game at a silly tempo and not, you know, think that there's going to be consequence of that. So, like I said, we've done it quite well up to now, and fingers crossed now we get through tomorrow unscathed, and they're all ready then for next Saturday, the first game against Switzerland.
Tom, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beth Fisher.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Beth.
We're not going to talk about the matches. I just want to know, really, can you give us an insight of what your days look like at the moment? Because I was in yesterday, you arrived back early hours in the morning, and hectic day doing media stuff. Can you just give us an insight of what your day looks like roughly? Because I think people maybe not appreciate all the stuff you have to do, really.
Yeah, so we got back at 3:00 from France, and get the players straight into bed, the coaches straight into bed. The coaches are up first. We have a rolling breakfast the following day, because not all players want to get up at 10 o'clock. So we had a rolling breakfast. Then obviously we've got a group that needs more training, a group that played, so they'll need a recovery day. So we have a meeting with the medical staff, and we organise the groups accordingly. And then we have a brief meeting then before training to let them know what they're going to do. We train, and the coaches staff were in the meeting yesterday afternoon in the meeting room all afternoon. That's with the press involved as well. I had to nip out every now and again to go and do the press. But in the main, it was meeting rooms yesterday, just having a review on taking a lot of positives and clips out of the French game and delivering that back to the players last night in a meeting. And also yesterday afternoon, looking at Albania, looking at, you know, how they play with the ball and without the ball. And I've delivered that to the players this morning before we went and trained it. So yeah, a lot of time in the meeting room and a lot of coffee.
I'm not asking people to feel sorry for you at all, because you have a dream job, but can you give me an average kind of what hours per day that you spend up, really? Just give us an insight on that.
Breakfast at 8:00 with the staff, and it's not unusual to be leaving the meeting room at 10. You know, it's gone beyond that at times, but they are long days. But like I said, you know, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for us. It's the best job in the world. I'm absolutely loving it, living the dream. So it's brilliant to be around positive people, the players, the staff. It's a great job.
And I was going to say, you're living the dream. The buzz around the camp yesterday was brilliant. How are you feeling? Because this is your first kind of process of going through media days, etc.
Fine, so part of the process. I've said before, I'm disappointed the supporters can't be there with us. So if we can link in any way, and that's doing more media, we'll just shut up and get on with it. We've got to do it. You know, that's part of it. And like I said, we want the supporters to be a part of it. Like I was a supporter in 2016. So it's important that we have that sort of relationship throughout the tournament.
And last question from me, as the players were saying to me yesterday, you know, despite all the, you know, with COVID and talk and, you know, all the bits you have to do, it's just the games that you can't wait to get playing in, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't believe how quick the camp's gone so far. It's over 2 weeks now that we've been on camp, and it's gone really quick. And that's, you know, again, credit to the organisation. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that people don't don't see and appreciate, and to the levels we've had to go to with COVID. But we've had a great camp in Portugal. You know, we had a good 4-day EFL camp the week before that, and this week the build up to the French game, and now Albania tomorrow has been excellent. So, but it's all about winning games of football now, and we understand that. Let's get tomorrow out of the way, use it as a benefit to get players minutes on the pitch, and then the real stuff starts then, and we can't wait to get our teeth into it now.
Well, keep that coffee flowing. Listen, good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers.
Diolch Beth. Lawrence Mora.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, mate.
How you doing? So obviously Aaron came on as a sub the other night. How long are we looking at trying to get him on the pitch for tomorrow, do you think?
Well, we're going to see how the game goes as well. You know, there's different tempos of different games, so we'll see how it is. You know, the more minutes we can play him without pushing him outside his boundary is going to benefit him. You know, like I said, we have to be mindful that if we push him too far, he could break down. That's the last thing we want now, a week before the start of the tournament. So if we have to come off him a little bit, we will. His training is excellent. You know, the stats, the data that we get every day from him in training, he's meeting his loads. So that's great. And like I said, it's about getting the minutes into him that we think is necessary without running any risk.
You've had David Brooks, kind of a good close look at him in this camp. How is he looking fitness-wise? He's had a tough couple of years, but this is a real opportunity, this tournament for him, isn't it? To kind of almost relaunch his career.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Brooksy, honestly. You know, and I've just seen him again in training today, and some of the things he does just puts a smile on your face straight away. And I want the supporters to see that. So yeah, it's been a frustrating couple of years for him, and having a fit David Brooks in your team is absolutely beneficial for us. So we'll do our best to keep him fit and get him on the grass as much as we can.
You've obviously made lots of changes, kind of one friendly to another before. Is that what we're going to see tomorrow?
Yeah, again, it's all about next week. It's all about next Saturday. We can't run the risk. I've said earlier, we're past the point of no return now with regard to injuries. Anybody picks up something now, they're going to, you know, potentially rule themselves out for the first game. So it's all about that. We don't want any silly little injury. So yeah, we'll have one eye on picking a team that needs the minutes again. And you know, are they going to play 90 minutes? Some might, a couple might. But there's an opportunity to use the 6 substitutions, and I'm confident they'll all be used.
And just finally, for me, you're going to be there in front of the fans singing the national anthem as manager on the touchline. That's going to be an emotional moment, especially having those fans back in the stadium.
Yeah, it's just a shame we can't get a full house. You know, I've been part of it, stood on the touchlines, and you know, with a full house, and it's, oh my God, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It does. So it's a shame we can't have that, but we'll take what we can. If it's 6,500, you know, whatever we're expecting, great. And we'll show our appreciation at the end, and they can wave us off to Baku on Monday. But yeah, it's just so nice to get the supporters back in, and along with the players, I'll be extremely proud standing there singing the anthem.
Cheers, Rob.
Cheers.
Thanks, Lawrence. Katie Sands.
Hi, Rob. Hope you're well.
Hi, Katie. Good, thanks.
Good. Can I just ask a little bit about Nico then? You know, how is he in himself, you know, around the camp? Is he pretty disappointed with how it turned out? And what have teammates' support been like towards him?
Yeah, they're a close-knit group, so they won't let anybody be down. You know, he took it hard to start with, and he wanted to stay out and ask the referee for justification. And I had to, you know, bring him into the changing room, and, you know, it's not going to change anything, explain that to him. So he's disappointed. He's disappointed for himself, because he knows the importance of getting those minutes on board for next week. And he knows there might be, you know, repercussions because of that. But as a lad, he's a great lad. He's very positive. The boys have been around him today, and he's again trained today like, you know, he's back to normal. So it's good that we've got a group that take care of the players as well like that.
Good to hear. Can I just ask a little bit about Ethan Ampadu then? What's the latest on him, and where do you see his best position?
Yeah, good question. He's similar. I liken Ethan to Ben Davis. I think he can play a multitude of positions, and I've seen him for Sheffield United this season play anywhere along the back three, the middle, right, and left, and give a good account of himself. He's great on the ball. He reads the game well. He's quick, so he's not worried about the space in behind. So he gets us up the pitch, keeps us nice and compact. And in midfield, he's a presence. You know, he's got that physicality. So when you've got a player like that, it's great to have, because he can play a multitude of positions.
And what's the latest on his fitness at the moment?
Yeah, Ethan's looking very good. He's again credit to the medical team. You know, they've had a plan and they've pushed and pushed, but they can't push him too far. You know, but he's trained again today and will play a part in tomorrow's game.
Great, thank you, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. Cyril Olivier.
Hi guys. Hi Robert.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Very good.
Yes. You've got the third youngest group of the Euros. How do you think the young players are getting on with the older ones? Seems a good mix to you?
Yeah, very good. I think I've got a great group. I've spoke before about how good temperament, character, personality of the older group. You know, they won't let the young ones get carried away. And the young ones also push the older group. There's nobody can sort of rest on what they've done before. You know, there's young, ambitious, hungry young players coming into the squad that want their jerseys, and there's a good blend. But on top of that, they're good characters. And I've said before in the past that I liken it to a club environment, and that's hard to achieve when you've only got them for sporadic moments through the year. But no, it's credit to them. They're a great group together, and the blend is really good.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Cyril. Phil Blanche.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Phil.
I was going to ask you actually about the age profile of the squad. Do you see that something as very much as a positive, particularly maybe in what could be hot conditions, a lot of legs in the squad?
Yeah, I think what the young boys and the blend of the senior lads have achieved in a short space of time has been brilliant. We have to manage that expectations, of course. They're still learning on their feet, some of the young ones. Going into this environment now and this competition is going to give them invaluable experience for future competitions. And this team are only going to get better and better and better. But having youth around you, of course, with the conditions that we have to take into account, yeah, that will help. It doesn't guarantee it because, you know, you've got some young players that probably wouldn't react to the heat as well as, you know, maybe Gareth or Aaron that are exposed to that heat, you know, more regular than on a more regular basis than playing in Britain. So, yeah, it'll play a factor, no doubt, but we'll take that into consideration.
I suppose with young players sometimes as well, that you get no fear with them, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it with Ruben. Ruben's come in, no fear, absolutely no fear. He belongs here. Joe Morrell, his performance the other night against the world's best team and the physicality of the team. You know, there's 6 players that are 6'3", 6'4" in the team. Didn't phase him. Give me the ball. He wanted to be the best midfielder on the pitch. We've got hungry players like that. So it's not just about having talented footballers. It's about having the right character as well. And all our players have got that.
And just one more from me, Rob. I assume you're taking the knee tomorrow before supporters. Do you have any concerns that what the reaction may be given to what happened before the England game on Wednesday?
No concerns. You know, we'd like our supporters to back us, but no concerns whatsoever. We've had a meeting as a group of players, and we think it's still the right thing to do. So we're gonna do whatever we can to get this right, and make awareness of it. You know, so we're gonna do whatever we can to raise awareness and continue with the message. And the players are happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. The staff are happy to do it. And I'd like the supporters to join along and back us on that as well.
Thanks, Rob. All the best.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Phil Cadden.
Hi, Rob. Hope you're well.
Hi, Phil. All good, thanks.
We saw in the week that Scotland were disrupted by COVID. I just wanted to double check. Are you COVID-free in the squad?
Yeah, absolutely. Our record's been second to none, Phil. But to achieve that, the work that goes on behind the scenes, I know I've said it 2 or 3 times in this interview already, but honestly, they deserve an enormous amount of credit. The finances that go into that, we don't get any financial support at all, you know, is credit to the association. It's, like I said, flying people. We got players playing in Europe, flying them over, getting them planes to bring them back. It's not cheap, let me tell you. So we've had to do that, but the rewards are at the end that we haven't got any COVID. You know, we've got no COVID in the camp, which is credit to the medical team and the administrators for you know, first-class organisation.
And just finally, can I check, will there be VAR tomorrow? Because UEFA say it's down to the local FA.
It is down to the local FA, and we won't be having VAR. No, we don't think it's necessary. we're disappointed with the result of the other night. So, you know, it's a young player that needed minutes, and because of that, now we can't. So France decided to use it. We were informed about it. It wouldn't have made any difference to us going into the game, but it has unfortunately had an impact on how we plan moving forward. So no VAR for us tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you have any regrets to agreeing to have VAR the other night?
No, because like I've just said, we wouldn't have changed anything. It wasn't that, you know, oh, there's VAR, so we have to change something because of that. We would have played the same 11. We would have done exactly the same thing. It's just unfortunate the VAR were there, and it's questionable whether it's a penalty, a red card. Absolutely not. And the repercussions of that now is a young lad's got to miss out on a game in preparation for the Euros.
Good luck tomorrow, Rob.
Cheers, Phil. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Rob. We're going to have to wrap up with Rob then. I'll bring Gareth through shortly. Diolch.